There we go. We're going live again. It's nice and windy out today. We've had very cloudy weather and we had a big rainfall yesterday, almost like a cloudburst. Volpreek. Is it called a cloudburst? I'm not exactly sure what the English word for it is. But yeah, we had a significant amount of rain in a very short period of time, and it was absolutely amazing. Our soil is thoroughly wet, and our plants are very happy. I can see them all thriving actively and in the moment. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is a beautiful day. I feel really good. And the reason I'm feeling as good as I am today is because of a friend, actually. And I know this friend's listening, so I'm gonna mention him again. But thank you, dude. Like, you are doing more than you know. I'm talking to this friend about meditation, about the books we're reading, about binaural beats, about the breathwork exercises I've been doing. And it just feels so nice to connect, you know. It feels so nice to connect and to have something in common and to just see that even though we've been apart and we've been doing our own things, we're still kind of converging on the same things, you know. It's kind of trippy. Meditation is really important. To those of you watching, if you wanna start implementing something into your life that will give you more calm, give you more control in your life, start meditating. And this isn't just me being a hippie and saying all of this stuff. It's been proven. It's factually based. Meditation changes something called your heart rate variability. And they did studies on alcoholics that found that when your heart rate variability drops, it means the variation between each one of your heartbeats is closer to the same. When the variation is further from the same, it means you're resisting something. So what they found is when you meditate, you're introducing into your heart that variability. And that variability in your day gives you more willpower, literally. So by meditating, you are equipping yourself with more willpower for the rest of your day. And if you don't think that's cool, then you're not a hippie like me. I'm fascinated about the power we have in our minds. I think this is going to be my fastest roll joint. I feel like I'm getting so good at this because now I have to be. And the best part is I'm rolling in the wind every day these days. And yet still, I'm not faltering, I'm not failing. Getting better and better. Good morning from Ohio. Good morning to you as well. Birds is green. You were here yesterday as well, so welcome. Welcome. I'm happy to see that you're back. I'm really happy to see that you're back. I hope you're well. I hope things are well in Ohio. Like, I think Ohio is the state I've heard the most about for some reason. Idaho? Ohio. Idaho is also a state, right? Or is that a city? I'm so bad. There's 52 states, and I'm not American, so I guess I don't have to feel too bad about it, do I? I hope all of you are well. Thank you again for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And I hope all of you are well. And I hope I can give you some calm today, if the wind is gonna allow. I hate when there is so much wind noise, especially when it's jarring. Like, fortunately, these cell phones have pretty decent mics, and I don't know if it's Reddit's algorithm itself or if they're upping the gain or something, but it's pretty clear as well. Like, you can hear usually pretty much everything that's going on around me: the birds, me talking, the wind, the raindrops. It's kind of surreal. It's kind of nice. For some reason, Idaho has become a meme. Ohio. Why do I have trouble saying that? Ohio has become a meme. It's become a meme. Maybe that's why I've heard so much about it. Cheers from New York. Cheers to you as well, friend. How is New York? I heard New York is really cold right now. I heard it's really, really cold. Ohio, Idaho, both states, both suck, and 50 states total. Only 50 states? Not 52? Where did I get the 52 from? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I'll take your word for it. I think you would know better than me. I know you would know better than me. But now I'm curious as to why I thought they were 52. Is there 52 stars on your flag? I think that might be where I'm getting tripped up. It's cold and snowy, but it's winter, so that will happen. Yes, 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 yes. It's true what you're saying for New York, but we don't get snow here when it's winter. We only get cold. And it doesn't even get that cold. Like, our cold would be your comfortable. So, like, it doesn't happen everywhere, unfortunately. I'm still waiting for the day for me to see snow. Build a snowman. Probably be like a 50-year-old man or something. Build my first snowman or something. Can bet your asses I'll make a video about it. So, stay tuned for when I'm 50 and I make my first snowman. Must be nice. I would love summer right now. I wouldn't say I would love winter right now, but I would appreciate just a little bit of like cooler weather. Like, my computer room is an absolute furnace. Like, literally as soon as I press the button, I can feel the heat emanating off of my machine. So I have to have a fan running and I have to have the door open, and it's dusty on the farm, and then one of my dogs wants to come and lay with me, and he's hairy, so he's like, there's a bunch of hair all over my freaking computer, and then I have to like clean my keyboard. Like, how even? I don't, like, every single time I touch my keyboard, I have to go and wash my hands first, and then still somehow, by some miracle, dog hair finds its way onto my keyboard, and then it irks me. Ooh, it irks me so much. Like, you wouldn't believe it, but I'm a little bit of a clean freak, especially when it comes to my electronics. So what I'm doing right now is something called taking the hat off. So you see, it's still on, and then, whoop, I took the hat off of my little doink. Hello from Erie? From Erie? Eire? Eire? I have no idea. What country are you from? Sounds cold as well. Come to Iowa and you can skate and build snowmen. Yeah, I'll do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. I want to skate and build some snowmen. What games do you play on PC? I play a few games. I've been playing some Cyberpunk recently. I've been playing Dota for a very long time. I've been playing some Hades, been playing some Doom, and that's about it that I've been playing recently. But I want to start playing. I want to. What's the game called? I've forgotten. I've played The Witcher not too long ago as well, and I want to replay that as well. But I don't have a lot of hard drive space. It kind of sucks. I have like a terabyte SSD, and I haven't upgraded any more than that as of yet. So now I'm super conservative with my space. I don't want to put just all of the games I have on it at the same time, but you know how it is. Ooh, we call that popping the top. You see, like, I like how we have different words for it all over the world. We call it taking off the hat as well, because if you're smoking with friends, you can take that hat off and you can put it on someone's head, and it's a cute thing you can do. Fat doinks, kid. Yee, look at that. Nice little bat. It's gonna knock me out probably. My tolerance has been dropping. Like, every single time I smoke on these streams, I feel like I'm getting more and more blazed. But maybe that's a good thing. It's Ireland in Irish. Ira. Ira. So, like, we call Ireland in Afrikaans Ierland. So it's almost like that. Ierland. Ireland. It's pronounced era. 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 Is that right? Am I saying that correctly? I don't think I'm saying it correctly, but it sounds pretty cool. Hmm. You see, I still almost do it. I forget to set intent, and it's very easy to do that in everything in life, but we've set ourselves a new goal. Every single time we light one of these, we have to set an intent for it. And yeah, I think my intent for this is to realize that I chose to be here. We all chose to be here. Sometimes we go through sucky situations, sometimes we go through great situations, but we were aware of it before we even chose this life. We chose our names, we chose our birthplaces, we chose our languages, we chose our bodies, we chose our minds. Like, we're here for a very specific reason. We're here to experience, and we're here to learn and to grow and to actually become more than we ought to be. And yeah, that's what I want to be aware of today, is that I chose to be here, and that I want to be thankful for the life I chose for myself and the life I've been given. Practice being grateful. It is a invaluable life skill. I chose to be here. I always believe everything happens for a reason. I believe that as well. And unfortunately, it's really hard to say those things when things happen that are hard to reason, like friends passing away or family members passing away. And unfortunately, those things also need to happen. We can't go on living forever. And it would be pretty boring if we all went on living forever. This planet would be overpopulated 10 times over as well, so. But things do happen for a reason. We grow from the things it is we're experiencing. I don't know why, but this makes me think of this, I think last Thursday theory it's called. And it's a theory that basically entertains the idea that the entire universe was created last Thursday. So all your memories, all your life experiences, everything that you've had, everything that you've loved, everything that you think you are in your entire life was created last Thursday. And all your memories and everything it is you think you've experienced before that was just placed inside of your body last Thursday. And the funny thing about it is it's one of those things that you can't really disprove, because how would you disprove any of that? And it comes back to the everything happens for a reason. So if we're in a simulation, if this is the creation of God, if the universe was created last Thursday, it all happens for a reason. And we should just be aware of that. And we should flow with it. We should flow with it instead of kicking against it. I always believe, yeah. Pretty good. Have a great day. Have a great day as well. Let me sit on you. No, you can't sit on me, dude. I'm a human being. I'm not a chair. I'll grab you a chair though. You can have the one that's very close. Nobody's using it, so it's open for your use. Last Thursdayism. You see, it is a thing. The religion now is called Last Thursdayism. Isn't that crazy? And then there's even people like the spaghetti meatball monster, that people are like entertaining this idea that there's somewhere, because the universe is infinite and because infinity actually means it's possible for there to be a giant spaghetti meatball monster out there somewhere in the universe, and that's actually God and the creator of everything. And it was like, yeah, but no. uh, why Thursday though? I don't know. That's just what they chose to say, and it's kind of curious. I think it's very funny actually. It's so funny. Do you have books you recommend about deeper thinking, or do you read online? I read both online and I do read books. And if you want a book on deeper thinking, I'd recommend two books for you. The one I'd recommend is The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. And it's not just for men, that's just how he structured the book. And it's not a misogynistic thing, and it's not a power thing. So let me just explain a little bit of the premise of the book. He basically goes into explaining in this book that there are three stages of being a man. And the first stage is self betterment and self gain. So I'm working for myself, and so I have safety for myself. And the second stage man is a man that wants to create an income and create a life for him and his family and his loved ones. And then the third stage man is a man who creates a better life for himself, for his loved ones, and then in turn for the entire world. And he basically explains how in every moment and in our progression in life, we have the decision to choose in which state or in which stage we want to be. And it has helped me a lot just to thinking about how I should live my life. And then the second book I'd recommend is Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. Really good book if you want something to read while you're drinking coffee or something. I didn't even think about it like that, but after a conversation I had with a friend, it actually makes a lot of sense to me now. It's one of those books that's not really a story-based book or something that you have to keep track of. Like you can read 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 4 hours of this book and you would still gain something. So even if you read only one paragraph, that paragraph is going to have a conclusion. It's going to have a message that you can take throughout your day. And I really like that. I really like that. I kind of realize now that I've been reading it too fast because I'm like halfway through the book already. I kind of wish I now took it like almost one paragraph a day, but you live and you learn, and fortunately that never changes. I don't think it has to be Thursday any day, just that it all comes into existence last week. Exactly. That is the gist of last Thursdayism. I'm curious. It's like kind of funny to me that you guys find that so fascinating, and that sounds awesome. I hope you're talking about the books, but please go give those a read. They've helped me tremendously in my life, and especially in my self betterment. Hot diggity damn. Life is absolutely profound. I like thinking about creatures and how not a lot of people know this, but you know there's more living organisms in a teaspoon of soil than there are humans on Earth. A single teaspoon of soil has more living organisms than all the humans on Earth. It's the same thing for your skin. You have so much stuff living in your body. And I don't know if you know this, but 90% of your body is not even human cells. Like, did you hear what I just said? 90% of your body is not human cells. And if you don't believe me, you can go and look this up as well. You're made up of so many living little machineries, little organisms, and it makes up this thing that you experience as the self. It's wild. It's so wild. And chemistry kind of runs the whole show. Because what all of these little biomechanical organisms are doing is they're producing chemistry. Either using chemistry or producing chemistry. Again, more than 80% of your serotonin comes from your gut. So an essential neurochemical for you to feel like a normal human being is produced primarily in your gut. And then in turn, it's produced because of the food that you eat. So then again comes the whole thing, you are what you eat. Eat good stuff, be a good human being. And it's so difficult to eat good. And it's unincentivized. Eating healthy is more expensive, it takes more prep time, it takes more consideration. And it's so easy to eat junk food. It is very easy to eat junk food. And it's cheaper now as well, like they're being subsidized. And maybe in a way it's population control, which I hope it's not. Maybe it's just is greed. These people know they're making money off of a cheap food source, and they're exploiting people that can't afford to use anything else. I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk about negative things, but the point I'm trying to make is that we should just try and live healthy lives. Try and be considerate about the things we put into our bodies, because it's so easy to not do that and get distracted. Crazy how we all work together too. Yeah. That we use our mouths, so like it goes through a whole process. First and foremost, we're taking breaths of air in, and then we pressurize this air in our lungs with our diaphragm, press it out through our like esophagus, through our windpipes, which are basically these little blades of flesh that vibrate depending on how you constrict them, which is wild. Then you form these little sound waves, not only with your vocal cords, but also with your tongue. And then the way you shape them is depending on like a neurochemical and a neuro impulse on your brain. So each word has like a little neuron pattern firing. So then you form like these little word sentences, like these word strings, onto an idea that you've had. So technically our ideas don't start as words. We have this idea and then we try and explain it into words. Then after we've went through this whole process of creating these sounds with our faces, those sound waves fly through the air, hit the ear bones of someone, and then those ear bones turn our sound waves into binary signals that goes into our brain and then gets decoded, and then it starts to reference and to match. And the thing with words as well is like one word can have two different meanings or two different interpretations, two different emotional attachments to two different people. So even though I said word, to my brain it has this neuro impulse which could be positive in some scenario. That word hits the other person, even though it came out of positivity in my body and my brain, it has a negative impact on the other person. Isn't that, it's wild. If you actually just think about what communication is and how it works and how we do it and how there are different languages and how we have the capacity to speak more than one. Ek is 'n tweetalige mens. So I just said I'm bilingual. We don't say bilingual the same way in Afrikaans. We say tweetalig, which means two languaging, technically. So yeah, and because I speak two languages, I have the same like little buckets of ideas or buckets of images, and I have two words from two languages in those same buckets. And then sometimes we know the word for one language, we don't know the word for the other language. Like that happens quite frequently on the streams with me. Oh, man, being a human being is absolutely profound. Going down the rabbit hole here. You know it, I'm always going down some rabbit hole. It's so much fun to explore where it goes. How dank is that J? It's pretty dank. I cannot lie. It's a pretty dank J. It is doing its job, I can guarantee. Ooh. Beautiful butterfly. Come here. Come here. Come. Come sit with me. Come. I don't know if you can see it flying past me. Oh, you can. I think you just did. If you were quick enough. It's one of these orange butterflies, and then it has this black rim with these little white dots. And it's so beautiful. You know, butterflies are some of the best pollinators, and they taste with their feet. That's a pretty commonly known fact, but isn't that wild as well? Interpretation of those different languages is madness. Exactly. Because, again, it comes back to the whole you having different emotional connections to a word than another person would. So, how do you interpret someone's work or someone's writing when you're interpreting it from like a foreign standpoint? You don't actually understand all of the nuances to the language, especially to a person that only speaks one language. Because when you speak only one language, you have almost more emotional connection to words. Like a word means, in sense, more to you in that moment than it would if it was used by a bilingual person. I don't know if I'm talking out of my ass here, maybe a little bit, but to me it makes intuitively sense. I hope I'm making sense to you as well. Lemon haze, yes, it's lemon haze again. I have, so basically I had a big lemon haze plant, and it gave me a bunch of seed, and then that's the seed that got planted. So it's what we have, but it's definitely doing the job. And since I've been taking, I have like a bunch of different plants as well. So fortunately, you get different phenotypes, different genetics expressed into the bud, and then because of different genetics being expressed, you get different chemical profiles. Different chemical profiles then in turn into a different experience for the user. And chemistry is wild. Like you're putting this chemical into your body. Your body is used to a chemical state that it can sustain and it can produce. And then it experiences this elevated, or maybe I should say changed chemical state. And then it's like, okay, let's process all of this stuff, experience, and then it's over with it. It's done with it. Yeah, connotations in the world needs feelings. Connotations? Yeah, connotations in the world. I think so as well. I think we should attach more feeling to words. Even in the way that we speak to people. I think sometimes it's very easy to speak like one tone. And if I speak like this, you're gonna lose interest really fast. You won't exactly want to listen to me. Like we should speak with tones. And we should emphasize the words we want to say because that is what we are capable of. No, man, it makes sense. Okay, sick. I'm happy that it makes sense at least. Dude, keep some smoke for me. Come, I'll leave the rest of the joint for you. I'll keep passing it left until you come. But while you're while you're running, I'm just going to light it. I hope you don't mind. Maybe also because I'm on the lemon haze too. Isn't that wild? So then I have a counter argument for you, coming back to the whole chemical states and experiencing those chemical states. If me and you on the opposite side of the world smoke the same chemical, like lemon haze now, for example, are we then in a way on the same chemical bandwidth or chemical frequency or mental frequency? And then in turn, don't you think that's exactly why humans like doing things together? We like watching movies together, eating food together, listening to music together. And I think all of those things create the same mental frequency in its user or in its surrounding. And then when you share a mental frequency with another person, the barriers of me and you almost kind of dissolves because you realize that both of you in that exact moment is experiencing the exact same thing. You're both hearing the music, you're both experiencing the chemical, you're both eating the same food, you're both smelling the same flower, and on that level you associate yourself a lot more with what it is to be a human, what it is with humanity. And it comes back to the whole oneness thing. Like we are one expressed into individuals, but we still originate from the one, right? Laughing out loud. I love your energy. Thank you so much. I love your energy as well. We're maybe on the same weed length. There we go. New word freaking discovered. We're not on a wavelength, we're on a weed length. Cool. Social creatures. Yep. We are social creatures. Me, particularly, I'm a very social creature, and this is something social that I can do with all of you beautiful people as well. So it makes me so happy to see all of you here every day. I do think so, yes. I also think many of my friendships were melted together by this chemical. You see, a lot of my very close friendships also was encouraged by marijuana use. And it comes back to the thing as I said, actually. And I think, personally, at least with me and my friend group, when we smoke together, we're also more prone to talk about real things. We're not scared of talking about our emotions, not scared about talking about hurt in relationships, hurt in our families, and it makes us more prone to actually listen to each other as well. So I think it's a good glue for friendships. We're all composed of the same matter that made up everything else. It's pretty neat. Yeah, dude, I agree completely. Go look at my profile little message. We're made of the same star stuff. We're made of the same star stuff. And it's wild. It's so cool. Like, we're made of like 5 basic chemicals. The majority of our bodies is made up of like 5 basic chemicals. And those 5 basic chemicals is also the most common chemicals in our topsoil. Makes you think. We are the earth, and the earth is us. We should take care of Mama Gaia. Stop the plastics, stop the overfishing, stop the carbon. We need to go renewable. Renewable is going to be the only way we save our planet. We can't sustain the current trajectory. But I think people are waking up. Seems my stream ended. There we go. My stream got dropped. But that doesn't mean I'm done streaming. So, here we go again. Oh, are you alright, dog? Shame. He jumped up and then he kind of fell down. At least they're very resilient little creatures. Oh, it is a beautiful day. I hope the wind noise isn't too bad. There's not much I can do about it. Mother Earth and the weather in turn does as she pleases. Can't ask a woman why she's angry, just like you can't ask the wind why it's blowing. Why are you blowing like this? It's a little piece from the book I was talking about a little bit earlier. The one about the way of the superior man. He goes into explaining how the feminine energies in our lives can almost turn, in a way, maleficent or evil or angry to get the reaction out of the masculine. Not because it wants to, but because a bad reaction out of the masculine is better than no reaction out of the masculine. And I think in a lot of our lives, it's very easy to live a life of disinterest, especially in our relationships and especially as men. We're unlikely to express our true feelings, and it becomes almost like a self-distancing thing. And the longer you do it for, the better you get at it, like everything in life. And it's then that like stuff happens in relationships, like a woman will destroy something that you love just to get you as furious as possible, because in your day-to-day life, even in your love, even in your presence, you weren't present. And she knows that in doing something, even though it's subjectively wrong to do it, it is going to get that reaction out of you that she's craving, that she wants to have a full man, a man that can give to her completely. So that's why it happens, and it's going to happen to me as well, probably. And I'm probably, even though I understand what it is I'm talking about, I might still be prone to it happening to me. And it's an unsettling thought that we have the power to know things and still make the same mistakes, because it's kind of like a sick joke. But then again, isn't everything? We should just be laughing, right? That's the only way you truly defeat it. You just laugh along. You go along. You see, you see everything for the beauty that it is. It's all about perspectives. I know it's in the middle of lockdown, it's in the middle of quarantine, but try and give yourself some good perspectives every now and then. If you can, try and go to a park. Go and Google parks near me or something like that. Find a place that you can go and see some nature. It would do it would do you a lot of good. Go look at some trees, especially. Looking at trees is gonna do you a lot of good. No, don't let it get to you. Feel your feelings. I feel my feelings. Don't worry. I don't shy away from feeling my feelings. But I've also taken a responsibility here to create a peaceful, a good, a positive vibe here for all of you. So, me diving into existentialism isn't exactly the the deal we made here, is it? No, only positivity from now on, because we have so much capacity to be positive. It's just a will. Everything is about willpower sometimes. You have to have the willpower to truly do those things that you want to do. Not in excess, not with desperation, but with integrity, with calm, with direction, with justice. If you can do that, you'll be set. Loving. What is that animal? What is what animal? Our animals? We have dogs. I know the dude owns at least 3 types of crystals. I own a lot more than that, friend. I own a lot of crystals. Would you guys and girls like to see my crystals someday? I might make a whole stream about it. I'll show you every single one of them. Is that something that you would like? Let me know. I'd be more than willing to. I think it would be an interesting video. Crystals are fascinating as well, you know. They're so gorgeous. And that's what it is. It's just gorgeous. Like, think about it. It's something visually appealing to look at, and it came from something inanimate. Huh? Like, because of water, because of high pressure, because of high amounts of heat, because of so much time, sand and soil and minerals came together to make these beautiful crystalline structures. And it's the intelligence of the atoms that does that. It like literally aligns itself in ways that it becomes see-through. Like, it allows light to pass through it, where a normal piece of rock doesn't allow you to do that. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And you can't say jack about it. No. No, Mr. On Guild Wars, absolutely not, dude. I think he's referring to that bird-like noise. Oh, those were hadidas. Those birds, hadidas, they're called. Show the crystals where you store your energies, bruh. I'll show them to you. I will, in due time. Not right now. You'll have to give me a follow and I'll show you all of my crystals at another day, because I'm going to have to think about a camera setup for me to allow to do that, because I think it's going to be a little bit awkward for me to bring it up to the camera every time. I might have a shot where I'm like standing on this side with the main camera with good lighting. I'll make it proper, you know, like, so you can actually see what it is I'm trying to show you, not just some whack shit. Hey, can I ask a quick question? Please feel free to ask a question. You just did. You should do some of those. I'm gonna keep it low key, but yes, I don't think that's a bad idea. You're so deep, teach us. I'm only as deep as my relationships has allowed me to become. So, in that knowledge, I know that I can be in a way to you the same way that relationships and situations has been to me. So, in a way, we're constantly learning from each other. So, let's learn from each other. What is the purpose of life? I believe the purpose of life is to experience. Yeah, no matter what it is. Experience love, experience sadness, experience nothingness, experience everything, experience just experience, like in perspectives, because different perspectives gives us these amazing experiences. So I believe that's what the true purpose of life is. And in that way, you can never really go wrong because there's always going to be a purpose for life. If your purpose for life is to experience things, even to the last day of your life, there's still going to be things to experience. And that is beautiful. Do you grow your bud? Yes, I do, friend. Where do you live that you're so happy? Because I'm so sad here. I'm so sorry to hear that, friend. Sadness is something that's really real, and it's something that I've experienced in this place as well. It's not about where you are in physicality, but where you are mentally, friend. And I know in myself that I had the capacity to take myself from a depressed individual to being the person that I am today. So I know that that power is within you as well. I really believe it, and I hope that you believe it too. I'm using my more crystal talk, please. Like, I don't know what you want me to say about crystals. You can ask me about my favorite ones or something like that. Then I can have something to work on. But otherwise, I'm just gonna be talking nonsense like I always do. You're deep like an ocean. So it's funny that you shade that. It's funny that you should say that because I have this theory about existence, and it's more of a metaphor than it is a theory. But if you want to think about your life as a drop of rain or a drop of water falling down to an infinite surface of ocean, at what point are you only the drop of water? And at what point are you the entire ocean? Huh? You get to decide. You get to decide, friend. Green colors suit you? Thank you very much. Green colors is my heart chakra color as well. It is the color that I associate with the most. It's my favorite color. So I appreciate you saying that. Green is a beautiful color. It's the color of growth. It's the color of prosperity. And it's the color that our human eyes have the capacity to recognize the most different shades of. Because it is the most common color in our existence. There are so many opportunities every day to learn. You just have to be open to them. Yes. And depending on how much you learn from your opportunities and from your experiences, it's going to in turn allow you to learn even more things and to experience even more things and have even more opportunities and experiences in turn, dude. Hey, I'm just about to light up some nice mellow Skywalker OG Kush. That is a very elaborate name. I hope the name, as elaborate as it is, will allow for the experience to be as great as it will be. Yeah, yeah. And I'll light up with you in celebration of that. This is deeper than Minecraft's end screen, and I respect it. Did you just age me? I feel like I don't understand what you're talking about. Is Minecraft's end screen deep? Deepest in how? Does it? Do you keep digging? I feel like a boomer. Is this what it feels like to be a boomer? How do you deal with negative emotions? I have been feeling very anxious the last week and never really experienced it before this. Okay, so the way that I personally deal with negative emotions is by thinking about the things that I would want to, okay, to think about the things I have and what I would give to have them if I didn't. So think about your eyesight, think about your hearing, think about your sense of taste, think about your ability to feel, and then think about it not being there. You not being able to see, you not being able to hear, you not being able to smell. and then think about how much money or effort or time or whatever in life that's important to you you would give to get those things back. And if you play that little thought experiment, that little mental loop on yourself, it's very hard for you to stay negative, to stay anxious, to stay in a negative mind space after you've thought about stuff like that. Because I know in me, myself, money is a big issue when it comes to your own happiness. Because it's basically the thing that we associate with when we think of freedom, when we think of being able to do whatever it is you want. And unfortunately, and people that have made money, and I'm not one of them yet, and I'm saying yet because I'm going to start making money, and I'll be prosperous, and I'll be abundant, and I believe all of this stuff fully. But people that have made their dream incomes will also tell you that it is not the source of happiness. And there's so much more to happiness and being happy than just money. Life purpose doesn't exist, so stop searching for it. You can always create one, though, if you're obsessed with it. Yep, that's true. We can always search for things, yet sometimes things aren't supposed to be found. Or it makes me think of the whole, a knife can't cut itself, a fire can't burn itself, the ocean can't drown itself, right? It's one of those things. You can't know yourself. He's vibing. It's like God. It doesn't really exist. But that didn't stop people from celebrating multiple versions of it. I don't exactly agree with that statement, actually. You look like a German living in Australia or New Zealand. So, technically, I'm of Dutch descent, living in South Africa. So, you're kind of close. You're kind of close, actually. I wish it was warm enough to go outside here. The cold weather is really messing with me right now. I'm so sorry to hear that. What you could do is you could look at this beautiful weather, and then if you want, you can go and look at my YouTube videos, because I'm recording all of this in horizontal with an extra camera, and then you can look at that nature. And then if you finish all of that, wink wink, skimp skimp, you can go and just watch nature documentaries. When I was stuck in China, that's one of the things that really helped me through it. Give yourself better perspectives, better experiences. Our eyes are very powerful. We need to point them in the right directions. You look Australian, accent is American, with a hint of British. British? I'm not British, I promise. I'm South African, so my accent is completely South African. Lemon haze indeed. Thank you for the hugs, Mr. Shibby Wibby. I appreciate it. I'd send you hugs right back. Might be South African. Yes. We have one. I'm South African. Just wondering if you surf. I do not. But you'd be surprised as to how many times I've been asked if I surf. I'm not a surfer. Even though I would like to say that I am. It sounds kind of badass. And it looks really cool when people are just like sliding on water. Spreek jy Afrikaans? Ek doen. Ek praat Afrikaans. Heel goed actually. Dit is my eerste taal. Maar ek wil leer Nederlands praat. So dis die volgende taal wat ek gaan leer praat. Just wondering. So, nah, love the shroom necklace. Thank you very much. It's also my lighter. See, I knew it, figured South Africa. You were right. Naked documentaries, okay. No, none of those. Give yourself good information. Look at beautiful nature scenes. Look at wonderful primates being social and being happy. Look at beautiful sea life. Look at inspirational stuff. Look at motivational stuff. Because there's a lot of other stuff out there. And you know it's not good for you. I'm talking to you right now. To you. You know the stuff I'm talking about. Stop doing it. Just stop. I know it's hard. And it took me a long time as well, but just stop. We know how to stop. Let's stop. Visualization, thank you. Ja, leer Nederlands met jy. Okay, leer saam met my Nederlands, ek sal graag wil. Dit is seker nie so moeilik nie, en dit is as ons stadig met mekaar praat, dan kan ons mekaar verstaan. Leer ek Leuk, ben je ooit naar Nederland geweest? Nee, nog niet, ongelukkig. Maar ik wil baie graag gaan. Hopelijk oor die volgende 2 jaar. And naked animal. That's awesome. So I'm sorry. I've been chatting to one of my new Netherlands friends in chat. I feel kind of okay that I can actually understand what he's asking me. It's really cool. Afrikaans is similar. That's awesome. No, not the naked animals. What are you guys talking about naked animals for? All animals are naked. Like they only have fur on them. Only the animals that people dress are not naked anymore. But in animals' natural habitat and natural environment, they don't mind being naked because they have fur. Talking about dogs with fur, Eva, come here, come here, Eva. You want to see my dog? Come here. Look at her. Come here, come here. Oh, she is a Mexican hairless. And she is absolutely adorable. So I was talking about dogs with fur. Yeah, she doesn't have any fur. But she is such a sweetheart. She loves pets. She loves being dressed as well. And she'll bark at you and sniff at you and scratch at you to cover her in blankets. She absolutely loves being under the blankets. Hoe leuk is dit? Ek wil hier Suid-Afrikaanse kennis wel inruil. Asseblief kom ruil jou kennis in. Ek sal bietjie jou Nederlandse kennis wil inruil. Ek kom nie uit Nederland. Ek kom uit die VS, maar ek ben Nederlands aan het leren en ek verstaan en begrip alles wat jy in het Afrikaans. That's really cool. So an American, are you an American, I think then? VS? Wake and bake, hit this hard this morning. I'm happy that you're having a good time. Je bent echt enorm goed bezig. Wow. Yeah, I feel like I'm understanding most of what you're saying, but it's a pretty cool language. I think it's gonna take me a while to learn how to talk like that though. Especially since in Afrikaans we have almost English ways of saying things. So it's going to be a little bit interesting for me to actually do that. Yeah, America. Cool. That's really cool. So American that learn how to speak Dutch. I think that's what you call it in English. But in Afrikaans, we call it Nederlands, which is like saying it's Netherlands. Hello again. I hope you are well, dear. Thank you. Quite agreeable. I really am well. And she's gone again. Thank you for joining me in today's stream. I hope you're well as well. Dry mouth. Such a cute dog. She really is. And she's a feisty one as well. She has so much personality. She'll wake you up at your door for you to let her in, and then she wants to come and snuggle up with you. And she'll usually lay where your backside is, and then she'll lay with her back against yours so she can absorb all of that heat you're producing. And she'll also scratch at where you're laying because she wants to lay on the warm spot. Oh, such a creature. It's beautiful. The puppy. Yep, the puppy has gone. The puppy has gone. Oh. Sure. I wish you saw that, but there was this almost navy, bluish, purplish bird that just flew past. You know, birds are descendants of dinosaurs. Isn't that wild? We just have these little dinosaurs all around. And they're just chilling, making noises, building nests in trees, sometimes taking dumps in your car. And we're just like, yep, this is the way it is. We have them all about, these little creatures. And then the reason we want those creatures about is because we also have smaller creatures, insects and stuff, all about. And insects would become a big problem if all the birds were to disappear suddenly. So then you can argue, okay, now remove all of the insects, and then our grass and our plants suffer because of that. And then nothing survives. So once you start thinking about how everything is so interconnected in these different layers and everything has importance, you should realize that you also have importance. You are very important and you're here for a reason. And all of this beauty is here for a reason. And you should be aware of that stuff. You shouldn't sell yourself short. You shouldn't let yourself be a slave. You have a lot of capacity and a lot of potential. Why was your dog naked? Because she is a Mexican hairless. That's how they come. Ik woon in België en ik heb gehoor dat Belgische Nederlands gemakkelijker te verstaan is voor mensen die Afrikaans spreken. Ja, it's true. Speaking Netherlands is easier than speaking Afrikaans because I don't know. It's what, like you said, it's just how it is. How it is. Awesome. Yes, I am. I'm happy to hear that. But agreeable. The world adapts with or without insects and birds. No, friend. In a grand scale of time, yes. But we won't be able to adapt unless you want to live in a dome always and forever and breathe produced oxygen by chemicals or machines or electrolysis or whatever. No, we can't live, and the planet can't live without animals and insects. Da, 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 da. There is a lot to this world that is unknown. It's my dream to want to be able to disconnect from society and go explore. It's not an unrealistic dream, friend. I think wait about 5 years. No. 3 years, I say. Wait about 3 years, and Elon Musk's internet is going to be completely viable. So you'll have internet anywhere in the world as long as you have the antenna with you. And then, in turn, you can go and be a nomad somewhere. You'll always be connected to the world if you want to be, but you can go out anywhere into the world and then have your food delivered to you. If you want to go that route. Or you can spend like a few years making enough money to get yourself a piece of property, and then you can produce food for yourself. You can store the extras you have. Like it's completely possible to live completely away from society, but I don't think it's something you wanna do in the long term. It's still good for us to have social connections, to share social connections with people we love. Exactly. We won't be able to adapt, but the world will. We are not the world. Well, technically we are, friend. We are of the world. So, you think this hair is me? No. But at what point does it stop being me? And then, at what point does me stop being me? You understand what I'm trying to say? We are of this planet. So, we are the world. But, if we don't treat this world with respect, just like we should treat our own bodies with respect. You think if you pump tons and tons of carbon into your own body, it's going to survive very long? No. But that's what we're doing to our planet. So, yeah. Like our planets, this part of our planet, this biodiversity of our planet is what's going to die. And maybe after a few million years, our planet will evolve new life. And maybe they won't make the mistakes we made if we don't stop making these mistakes. Is weed legal in South Africa? Yes it is, friend. What time is it there? It's nearly 5 a.m. on Thursday morning. It is almost 5 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon here right now. Certain countries in Eastern Europe have digital nomad visas. Yes, they do, which means you can just go all over wherever you want to be. Isn't that a absolutely extraordinary life? I would love to be able to do that. I would love to see the entire planet, especially while it's still alive. and with all of the animals intact, with all of the trees intact, because we're encroaching. We've been encroaching. There's about 40% untouched land left on the planet. That's not a lot. Live free, my man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope to. I hope to live free. I think that's my only real dream. I have a lot of dreams, and some of them are a lot further away than the other ones, but all of them have the same center purpose, is to live free. And to give that freedom of living to the ones I love as well, and to the world. Have you been born in South Africa? Yes, I was born in South Africa. Born and raised my whole life. You're traveling currently? No, friend. I'm not currently traveling. I'm currently back home. I'm currently back home. In South Africa. And at my parents' place, actually. I was traveling about 5 months ago, technically. I was staying and working in China during the epidemic as well. And then I came back, fortunately, in August last year. And since then, I've been home. The current job market is abysmal, and I truly believe that it's my sole purpose to do something like this. I'm writing a book as well, and I'm learning how to use 3D in Blender, so I'm not naive, and I'm not putting all of my eggs in one basket, as they say, but helping people in something as small as this, I believe has so much value, has so much purpose, and has so much soul to it. Like we are truly sharing a moment, and we're truly experiencing something that's positive instead of experiencing anything less. And as long as we're aware of that, and as long as we actively look for these positive experiences, and for this year I want to create these positive experiences, that is how we live a good life. That is how we live a good life. What you do for a living. What am I doing for a living? Right now, I'm becoming a 3D artist, content creator, writer, and philosopher. I think I'm going to start forming this answer stronger and stronger, because we had a chat in one of my other streams about how you have this power over yourself when you know exactly what it is you're doing, and it also gives people the idea that you have a sense of power with knowing what it is you're doing. So, and I respect what that person taught me, so it's something that I'm now trying to implement into my life. So yeah. Which city is CN? I'm not exactly sure. Not to be creepy, I like your opinions. What's your view on having kids when the planet is dying? It's a very good question, and it's a hard one as well to answer. But I think I have an answer, and that answer would be to have kids at the end of the day. I believe that having a child and seeing your personality, your genetics, and your love and devotion at the end of the day being expressed into a human being, I think is one of the most beautiful things that this planet has to offer. And I think and no offense to anybody that doesn't want to have kids, but I do think you're lacking and you're being robbed of a whole experience of life. So yeah, that's my opinion on having kids. Can I just say you're easy on the eyes, love listening to you talk, and your way of thinking on how you look at life. Thank you so much for saying that. That's a whole whammy of compliments. Thank you. That makes me feel wonderful. The power of compliments, yo. Thank you so much. I'm happy to provide this, and I hope that my way of thinking continues and can rub off on some people maybe. If any of these streams have helped you, like, please join me for the rest of the year because you're helping me as well. Believe it or not, I'm even becoming emotional. Which city in China you worked? So I was working in Yangzhou, in Huai'an, and in Shanghai. Yeah. I worked in the one city for like a month, maybe a little bit longer than a month. The other city for about seven, about 7 months, and then Shanghai for about 7 months as well. Quick maths, maybe 6 months. Yeah, it was a while, but it was a fun experience, and I've learned a lot, and I will never go back. Also, when so many kids don't have a home already. Hmm. That is a very good point as well, because there are a lot of kids that deserve homes, and unfortunately, I do not believe that I personally would be able to house all of the kids in the world, but I do think that I can create enough influence and enough change that there will be homes for those kids. If you understand what I'm trying to say. Like, I have big dreams, very big dreams, and they're kind of intimidating, but yeah, I think we have a lot more capacity to change the world than we give ourselves credit for. So, I'm not going to talk too much about the dreams I have just yet, but believe me, I want to do good things. That's the only thing I can really hope to do in this life, and that's the only thing I see worth in doing good things. Because what else is there to do? Like, why are you living if you're living to do bad things? So that's my goal in life. I want to make this planet a better place, and it's gonna take a lot of resources to do that. I understand that, but I'm on my way. The shirt you're wearing looks like Hawaii Aloha shirt. It does kind of. I think this one the most of all, especially because of these little blossoms, right? But it's a really nice shirt. It's nice and dark, and it gives like a contrast for the green. It's beautiful. What you think about China? I have been traveling 1.5 months there, and found it was the most diverse country I've seen until yet, coming from Australia and Europe. It's very diverse, and even in its language, and even in its personalities and its people. Because if you travel and you just go through different spaces, you'll meet so many different types of people, and it's profound in that way, but it's really difficult to communicate when you don't understand the language. And first and foremost, I'm a very communicative, I think that's the way you say it, type of being. So I like talking to people. It's what gives my soul value. It makes me so happy to be able to have a conversation with someone, to learn something, and to share that love, share that experience with them. If it's made in China, I will not buy it. You're going to stop yourself from buying a lot of things, friend. Maybe it will bring balance to your life. Tell me how it works out for you. Why ever go back? China, the terrible environment. No, it's just the censorship, dude, and the indoctrination of their people that's stopping me from going back, unfortunately. Yeah, I totally understand you. That's awesome. It's gonna take a lot of time though. Yo, but for now, I'm young. I'm very, very young. It kind of trips me out how young I am sometimes. And I'm trying to be aware of it. Now is when I have so much potential to do things, to learn things, to give that energy that is required of me to realize the dreams that I want to realize. It's a momentum thing as well. And this is the best time to build momentum. How old? I am 22 years old, friend. 22 years old. High school was only like 4 years ago. Oh my. Oh, being young is a privilege. And we should use that privilege to do good. Because we're so prone to doing stupid shit when we're young. And why is that? Why is that? To going out drinking, sleeping around with people, wasting our lives, consuming so much entertainment, spending time talking about things that aren't worth talking about, negative things even, other people, other people's appearances. We should be building people up. And it's something that I have to be very aware of. Like, it's not a win-lose situation when it comes to life. It's always a win-win situation. Other people doesn't have to lose something, to lack something for you to gain something or have abundance of something. Shared abundance is the only way that our planet is going to be fulfilled and sustained. Look older. I know I look older. I feel older as well. I feel like I'm in my 30s or something, or at least in my 40s. I feel I've aged my mind. Palo Santo, I don't know what that means, but it has a heart attached to it, so it must mean something good. Thank you, friend. The dream is to become a published poet. My dream is to become a published poet so I can share my God-given talents to help people through rough times in their lives and also to celebrate their praises in life. That is a beautiful dream to have. You see, having dreams like that is exactly... imagine if everybody had dreams like that, how much change we would create in the world. Because if everybody had the intent to help or to better or to empower or to encourage or to uplift, like, it's going to be a situation where we become so wealthy in soul and in mind and in social, like, security, that our entire world and our entire population and our people will absolutely thrive. All experiences give you so much with your age, even like between 23 and 27. Gosh, I grew. Yeah, like, that's actually the best time to grow as well, because you're very adaptable and you're malleable at that age in your life. So you're prone to growing, and growing is a fun experience. My bad, never mind, it's a joint in your hand, lol. Huh? Again, confused. Maybe you said something before? Oh, solo panto. Oh, okay. Do you ever feel, before I read that, do you ever feel dejected by the selfishness of others? Perhaps it's part of American culture, but sometimes it seems everyone around me is only looking out for themselves. Yeah, dude. Or girl. It hurts me actually to see it. Because, like, to me, it's not so much the selfishness of others, but the thing that I tell myself is that people can never love me the way I love them. And it's I don't know why we tell ourselves that. Because we have so much capacity to love, and it shouldn't be about receiving. It should be about giving without wanting to receive. And as soon as you realize that, it kind of becomes silly. Oh, Yes, Poppy. Are you bisexual? No. I'm very straight, friend. I'm straight. Uh, yo. Oh man, being human is profound. I feel that. Yeah, it's true. Thank you for the helpful award, friend. I appreciate it. Giving me some more time. We only have 2 minutes left. I want to gather myself, and I think the message of today's stream is very clear. Makes me think of something a friend said. Every time you take in a big breath, you're choosing life, because you're not stopping your breathing cycle. If you want to die, just stop breathing. So every time you take in a breath, you're choosing life. Oh, being alive. How's the PC setup going, bro? The PC has been set up, friend. It's completely built. I'm streaming actively on it, actually. Not so actively in the last few days, but starting from tomorrow again, streaming actively. So if you want to join me for some of my streams, they're going to be a little bit embarrassing because I'm learning how to use software. But I do play some occasional games. You can go and subscribe to me on Meltmore, my YouTube channel. The same way it's in the title. But I'm going to wrap this stream up. Our time is almost up. Thank you so much for joining me today and sticking through to the end. And today's lesson is to love and to give to the world without being received and without expecting anything in return. Because it's only in accepting how much abundance you have will you be able to give to the world in that way. And when you accept that you are an abundant being, you are going to be an abundant being. Go in love and go in light. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.